Welcome to tonight's episode of
Mythic Wyrd!
We are back, baby. Thank you for being so patient with us. As you guys all know, especially you. As you guys know, or whoever's keeping up with our socials, we have been working on our studio. We did run to a few more hiccups, but hopefully everything's all good. Let us know. Keep us updated in the comments. If everything looks good, if it sounds good. We've got a whole bunch of new gear. So hopefully your viewing experience is amazing. So, real quick, before we get into tonight's session, just a big shout out to
Ravens Ridge Emporium.
I just can't say it, I'm so sorry guys, but thank you so much for these amazing dice. You guys are absolutely awesome. We love the dice, we use them. Thank you for partnering up with us. If you guys are looking for dice, definitely go check out their website. Absolutely awesome. I'm sure we'll have it in the description or details somewhere.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, we are ready to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the intro. Welcome back.
Yo!
Especially you.
Where we left off, obviously the stuff with Leaf had just happened, and it was still day with just a few hours to go until the dinner. It was obviously very short notice, but Leaf is running around. The once sleepy fort is now hustling and bustling as he tries to quickly scrap something together, send out invites, and get everything organised. Is there anything you guys would like to do before tonight?
We were going to go exploring around it.
Yeah, so I think if there's too much excitement happening around the fort, then I'll invite Drea on a walk through the township with me.
Yep.
And I'll take her through the town. I'll actually, Boulder was very close with the town, and would constantly on a regular sort of basis would go for a walk and greet all the families, and make a few hours, spend it in the town itself. And he would drag Bjorn along, who thought it was the most boring thing ever. So I'm going to mirror those steps, and greet people. And I don't know if they'll remember me. I mean, it has been that long, but it's been a while. And introduce you.
Nice.
Yeah. And it'll be pretty cool.
As you make your way through the town, it's filled with obviously no one's aware of what happened to your mother, and the whole departure of the orphans was quite sudden. However, you do see a lot of friendly faces smiling back at you, recognition in their eyes. A few of perhaps the braver ones, or maybe that had a better relationship with you, actually coming up to you to shake your hand and greet you, and then are absolutely over the moon to meet the new adopted orphan, which I presume you would introduce as your sister, and yeah, beautiful. So altogether, it's a good experience, and probably after what had just happened with Leaf, something nice to return home to, and a familiarity that reminds you of better times when your father and mother were still around. Although the village isn't quite as, it's still thriving, but not like in the days of when Boulder was around. you still see it's still the same old town, the same old people running the same old shops, the same, spots where people used to gather and meet, the same popular bars. It's nice to be home.
There's my home.
So just a question.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I don't know this session, but we're still going to go to the orphan thingy, treasury place.
Yeah, I think that's still the.
Oh, with the artifacts?
Sorry, do you mean Fort Vilga?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about a day's ride.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. So if there's nothing else anyone would like to do before the feast, eventually,
when we wander back up to the fort, I'll just say I want to show around Raganos as well, and eventually I want to go to my parents' room, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm assuming this is the first time you've entered. Yeah. Okay. After dropping Drea off, or did you want Drea to accompany you, or was this going to?
Sure.
Yeah. After giving her the tour of the fort, being stopped multiple times by guards that you knew serving in your father's time, still serving here, you eventually find yourself at the double doors of your parents' room. In solid oak doors engraved in a beautiful tribute to the Ilfin family stand before you, and once again you feel like that young little boy who's just had a bad dream and has made it through the dark holes to the front of his parents' bedroom. Doors towering above you, as you're almost just as scared to knock on the door as you were of the nightmare.
Last stop. Harder than I thought it would be.
I'm here with you.
The doors open without a sound, a testimony to Larry's upkeep of the room. He hasn't let, you can even notice the scent of the fresh oil on the doors, that he's maintained himself. And as the doors open, the last rays of sunset bleed through the windows, and you stand just in the entry. The large room with the fireplace directly in front of you, the large double bed to the right-hand side, and then a small sitting area to your left-hand side. Carpets line the floor, immaculately kept, and not a speck of dust on any of the furniture. Even the center of the room for a room that hasn't been lived in, still smells fresh and clean. The bed made, the windows kept clean. And there's even still the faint smell of the fireplace, which you presume Larry would light either every night or every second night to warm the room for the ghosts of your parents. Above the sitting place, you see a large oil painting, and as you meet the eyes of your father, you drift to the smaller figure next to him, your mother, before settling on the child between them. All propped, your mother and father propped on a stool next to each other, with you on the lap of your mother. cold shiver runs through you at the memory. You remember constantly squirming on your mother's lap, trying to get away, asking if it's done yet. Your father's stern look, even though he is enjoying it, stern look and low voice telling you to keep still as the artists worked on this beautiful piece.
I want to just like gently put out a hand and touch him on his arm, like bring him to the present.
I don't know what I expected. It's like I can see them in my peripherals, but when I turn, they're gone.
Their spirit lives on in you, though. You keep them alive. Do you know, even though I never met them like this, there's something here that's sitting in this room.
It smells like them. Come inside. I'll let usher her in and I'll shut the door. Yeah, so, have you ever seen my mother?
No, actually.
I still remember the day when we had to sit down to get this painted.
I can imagine it didn't go well.
I wasn't a kid who could sit still. I probably can't sit still now.
I guess you haven't changed, eh?
Yeah.
Perhaps at heart you are still that little kid who can't sit still.
Isn't she beautiful?
She is.
Although
God,
this,
I don't know how Boulder bagged her. I mean,
right?
right. Doesn't quite make sense.
She was the type of woman who would see the best in everyone, even if you couldn't see it yourself.
Well, I suppose that does make sense now, actually.
I miss her. I miss her a lot.
I'm sure she's out there somewhere, though, looking down on you, watching you. She may not be here physically, but sometimes you can just feel it.
Was it a mistake to return?
No, it was your duty. I know you say us orphans, we run, we don't hunt. Well, we hunt, we don't run. But I suppose this is another form of hunting. Another obligation, another duty on us, on you. Do you think it was a mistake?
I don't know. Being here. It's like returning to a dream that you've long forgotten and outgrown. Maybe I haven't changed, and yet I do not feel the same.
Perhaps that's a good thing. Your change means you won't make the mistakes you did before. To make sure that your return now isn't a mistake. Anyways, you also have me, so, you know. How could you ever make a mistake with me by your side?
And I am very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. As being here is something I would have never thought I would do. If I'm being honest,
So did I for a time.
this would have been the one place I didn't want to come to, and now
This can be your home.
yes. And I can't help being terrified at the thought that, what if this is our only chance we get to come here? What if we're home only to lose it again?
No. This is to prove to ourselves that we have something worth fighting for. I mean, that's why Daria is leaving.
I think I get that now.
I think I'm starting to as well. This could be our anchor, which I have never felt before.
Neither have I. If there was some alternative universe, it would have been nice for your mother and father to be here too. Perhaps there is one.
I think about that all the time. Anyway, so that's it. What did you think? That's everything.
Yeah, it's very orphan, you know? It's the only word I can describe it in.
Ready for the party tonight?
I'm ready to try Larry's food, if I'm being honest.
You will not be disappointed.
I mean, your version of Larry hasn't disappointed us so far, so I'm excited to see the real Larry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel quite privileged, actually.
Yeah, yeah. The real thing, just whole nother level. And
At the mention of Larry, the side door to where the sitting area, there's two side doors. One of the side doors open, and you see Larry come through with 2 buckets of hot steaming water. And as he puts them down, closes the door, turns and sees you guys there. Oh, my lord, my lady. Sire, your bath is ready.
all right. We get to bath now. That's good.
That's new.
Cool. Come on here.
Me?
Oh, Larry.
We just talked about not making mistakes. I would like to remind you. Larry seems like a wiser choice.
What do you say, Larry?
If that is your desire, my lord, I would be honored.
Yeah. Please.
Well, let's get it washed first and get you all scrubbed up, and we'll perhaps give you a shave as well.
As you will.
Well, I'll
Oh, does she have quarters?
I've readied your bath myself, my lady. There's a few ladies there waiting for you. They'll scrub you down and get you all primed up for tonight's dinner.
You are irreplaceable, Larry. Some would say
Unclonable as well.
I was just about to say that.
I try.
Well, I'll see you tonight then.
See you tonight.
And I'll head out.
Awesome. You head out, close the door behind you. Larry opens the door to the bath, fills the last couple of buckets, and then helps you strip down, gets you in there, scrubs you down from head to toe, before oiling, trimming, and just giving you a clean shave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just leave it up there.
Yeah, beautiful. And doesn't talk unless you bring up something. Of course, for the rest of you guys, you all have your own rooms. All have servants at hand who do similar stuff. Bath you, wash you down, scrub you down, and have clothes already tailored and ready for tonight.
Not as good as the Travayos.
Is there anything anyone would like to do before you all head down?
Can I just say, Torvin, after working with the guards on cleaning the place up, while still in Leaf's room, seeing the letters and stuff that were there, he's just going to start organising into groups of dates or importance if any are open.
Yep.
So that they're a bit more organised.
Awesome. No, then I presume head to your room, get ready.
Yeah.
How long do we have to the dinner?
An hour, 45 minutes now.
Okay.
Yep.
Just probably get ready.
Yep.
Do Kathy and stuff want to come?
They're all the way back in Dallinger, so...
Oh, they're back there.
Yeah.
Cool.
In Dellinger.
Yeah.
Cool.
City of
It's City of Dell, yeah.
Now I'll just get ready.
Awesome. You all get ready, all dressed, and eventually, one by one, find yourself escorted down to the Great Hall. As you're making your way down, you can already hear the laughter, the music, and the complete flip of attitude in the once sleepy, not lifeless, but I don't know, there's a certain spark tonight.
Hungover Raganos.
They're very hungover Raganos. You hear the music and smell the glorious smell of food well before you guys enter the Great Hall. Tonight, Raganos breathes life. Torches flicker, music spills from a drunken bard, and laughter rolls through the high halls like waves crashing against stone. Tonight's feast feels like triumph. Beneath it all, something quieter still lingers. An echo of last night's argument between cousins. The Baron has returned, older, harder, and wearing a weight of responsibility behind your eyes. Leaf, ever the golden boy of the keep, had taking the tongue lashing with a hollow smile before excusing himself, and this is the first time you've seen him again tonight. As you guys enter, and see Leaf and see people, there's no traces of bruised ego. Leaf is in his element. His commanding attention, cracking jokes, and dazzling everyone in the room, effortlessly with his charm. His coat is crisp, hair tied back, and crooked grin working absolutely overtime. As you guys take drinks, begin to mingle, food comes out. First of all, entrees, small bites, which are carried on plates around by the servants. Bjorn, you find every so often you feel Leaf's eyes on you, searching for approval.
Holy shit.
As the night gets deeper,
Scoff at him.
as the night gets deeper, and finally the last of the guests arrive, everyone's seated. You're eating, you're drinking, and as the main course comes out, you have Leaf or Bjorn at the head of the table, Leaf right hand side, and then the rest of the party at the head of the table, and then the rest of the table is fired with guests, soldiers, commanders, spokespeople from the village, local traders and merchants, a few nobles from Dell itself that were close to the family, or those at least in the area, have been summoned to attend by Leaf. The whole time Leaf hasn't really spoken to you, right? But you can feel again that sense of longing for your approval through his actions. Suddenly he stands up, grabbing his drink. He is a little drunk. Not too drunk, but he's starting to get there.
Oh shit.
He stands up with his drink. Where is that pretty pirate I keep around for entertainment, eh?
No way. No.
The crowd laughs effortlessly at Leaf's jokes just as the door cracks open. A hush falls in the room. A young man, leaning heavily on a worn cane, steps in. An uneven rhythm to his steps. The cane taps, drag, tap, drag, as you see him leaning heavily on his right side and barely being able to pick up his right leg. There's the fucking bastard, he says, as everyone lifts their cups. The man, young, but the years clearly haven't been kind to him. Salt-kissed curls fall loosely around his shoulders and his coat flaps open enough just to show the glint of old scars beneath the silk. He doesn't speak right away and lets the silence draw just long enough to become intentional. He then smiles, crooked, tired, dangerous. With a clear voice, apologies for the delay. I had to decide whether to wear a shirt or make an entrance. I believe I chose wisely. Laughter ripples through the room as he begins making his way closer. A spare seat next to Leaf is still left open, and as he approaches, Leaf promised me free wine and bad company. And he looks around, meeting your eyes, and looks around the table, and then stops and lingers on you, Drea, for a second.
Who the fuck is this Leaf?
Hello, Traveller. Did you enjoy tonight's episode of Mythic Wyrd? If so, subscribe to help us keep the fire going. Thank you.